How your favorite animals prefer to be petted is a question that has evaded pet owners since, well, people began owning pets. But research in this field has been able to provide us with some long sought-after answers. Today, we're going to tell you just where and how your favorite animals like to be touched and where they'd prefer you to stay away. From cats to dogs and even guinea pigs and rabbits, here's how your pets like to be petted. How to pet a cat. Cats think of petting as being something along the lines of grooming or licking, which actually takes place between two friendly felines. Most cats like being petted around the area where their facial scent glands are, and also includes under their chin, around their ears, and around their cheeks. This petting actually imitates the sort of petting cats do by licking one another. A study in 2015 published in the Journal of Applied Animal Behavior Science found that they display more signs of eager behavioral responses like purring and such when their humans pet them around the eyes and ears, and they give off more cold responses like hissing and swishing their tails when they're touched around their stomachs, backs, and base of their tails. Surprisingly, yes, we know what you're thinking, and no, cats don't actually like being petted around the base of their tails. Also, when you think about it, while some cats demand a lot of affection and love, others recoil from any sort of petting at all. They really just want to be left alone. You have to respect that too. Researchers believe that a cat's tail area is a pretty delicate one, and petting this area may overstimulate them, and it won't feel pleasant for them. A popular mistake that pet owners make when it comes to being introduced to a new cat is that they often coerce their touch on them. Whereas the truth is that cats need quite a bit of personal space, and if you go up to the cat to forcibly try to pet them and get them to like you, chances are they won't like it. You have to be tactful and see how the cat responds to your advances and proceed slowly. To win them over, you have to provide the cat with as much choice and control as you can, and let your advancements be on their terms. Most people end up attempting to force them to play along with their touch. It's better to slowly forward your fingertip at their nose. Let them come close and sniff your finger, and chances are you may even get a cheek rub. That is a really good sign. It's a cat's way of getting familiar and saying hello to you. So always let the cat initiate contact. Research has shown that our interactions with cats are generally nicer and longer when the cat makes the first move. It's also very important to observe the cat's body language to see to it that they're comfortable. Cats in particular can be very sensitive to touch and will try to show through their behavior if they're okay with being petted. Purring is pretty much always a good indicator, but a lowered tail, ears rotating backwards, or hissing are signs that it's time to draw back, and a cat isn't having it. A pleased cat will be calm and could even rub their cheeks on your hand as a sign that they want you to go on. Unfortunately, the behavior of cats, and especially with humans, is extremely misread. Some cats prefer more frequent but less intense interactions, whereas most people prefer interactions that last for a longer period of time. So it's best to pet your cat more often, but for shorter times. How to pet a guinea pig. Most guinea pigs don't like to be petted on their rear end. They'd rather be petted on their noses or their chin and ears. But it's definitely better if you stay away from their butt. Especially with male guinea pigs, many people don't know that touching their butt is an act of aggression and they don't like it. You should ideally only hold a guinea pig for around 15 minutes at a time, because they pee around roughly every 15 minutes and will start to feel uncomfortable because then they'll be trying to hold it in. Also, most short-haired guinea pigs would rather you didn't stroke their fur backwards. And finally, it's good to remember that just like humans, every animal is their own person. Just like us, they're bound to have their own choices and preferences about where and how they like to be petted and shown affection. Make sure to observe how they react with different gestures and figure out what they like and stick with that. How to pet a dog. A study published in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior discovered that dogs display more signs of stress, such as yawning and lip licking or elevated heart rates, when they are touched on the head, shoulder, paws, or muzzle. But petting on the chest comes with a decrease in heart rate and relaxes a dog. Nevertheless, many dogs are comfortable with any type of interactions, even with behaviors, because they're used to being around people. New research has revealed that dogs are keener about petting when it comes with praise, so make sure you tell your dog what a good boy they are every single day. Even if you feel weird talking to your dog in a baby voice, your dog will appreciate it. Research has shown that dogs are more likely to want to spend time with the person who uses high-pitched sounds to talk to dogs. For dogs, high-pitched noises such as whines are perceived as friendly, but deeper voices are considered threatening. This is rooted in the minds as instinct, because big, vicious animals vocalize at a lower pitch. Research using MRI scanners has shown that dogs understand more about human speech than we may think. Dogs are highly attentive animals. Next time you talk to your dog, look at how closely they are listening to you and trying to understand what you're saying to them. Dogs tilt their head when we speak. It's what they do when trying to understand what we're trying to say. Even though they look super confused, they understand the tone of voice and facial expressions. Next time you scold your dog for getting up to their usual dog antics, just know that they know you're mad. There's a reason why they make those puppy dog eyes. They know you won't be able to stay mad. The truth is, dogs love and actually require petting. It reduces their heart rate, lowers their blood pressure, and aids in producing a bonding hormone within their brains called oxytocin. Dogs feel safe when you pet them. It assures them that you love them and care for them. Your touch and gentle petting reaffirm many things about your special bond with your dog, and it makes them feel protected. You probably saw that when you scratch your dog's belly, they start shaking their leg involuntarily. Belly rubbing triggers an involuntary reaction called scratch reflex. This response looks pretty funny, but it's actually quite annoying for the dog. Most of us think that rubbing a dog's belly is something that they really like, but actually most dogs would prefer to lie next to you and receive soft petting on the chest instead. When meeting a new dog and going to pet them, reaching in from the side is always better instead of putting your hand over the top of the dog's head. Some dogs could perceive you bending over them as a hostile indicator and get scared of you. Undoubtedly, the greatest way to make first contact with a new dog is to put your hand out extended and allow the dog to sniff it. The one thing you ought to avoid at all costs is to initiate through petting a dog's head. This may be seen as a hostile gesture. Also, make sure to pay attention to the dog's body language during the time you spend with them. Some indicators that the dog isn't enjoying it are looking away, yawning, or licking themselves. Do make sure you watch out for their tail. If it's lowered or tucked, it means they aren't having too much fun. On the other hand, if your dog begins leaning against you, it's a good sign and shows they're enjoying it. The dog's leaning is a sign of comfort. It's their version of a hug. So go and give your dog a hug right now, using everything you've learned today. How to pet a rabbit. Out in nature, rabbits help each other to keep clean, be intimate with and comfortable with their friends, and show they care about one another. By petting your rabbit, you're actually showing and telling them you care about them and love them. It's the easiest and simplest way to tell your furry little friend you love them. The best areas to pet rabbits are above their eyes and around their ears. They also like being gently stroked down their back or around their shoulders. They also don't like being touched on their stomach or tail. Some rabbits would lick you while you pet them, and this is actually their way of petting you back. They could also gently nudge your hand, and this shows that they want to be petted by you. Alright, leave a comment down below and let us know if you have any pets and how they like to be petted. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to InfoLab. Until next time.